Hey guys, Shadow Reviewer here. I think you know what we're going in for. Let's just get into it. This is the Sonic Adventure 2 levels, ranked from worst to best, and that's every single one. That does include the Cannon's Core segments as well. And before I start, if you're wondering where Green Hill is in this, it's not included. It's pretty much a extra level in all getting the emblems. It's not canon, and you don't need to play to continue the story. So if you're looking for Green Hill, I apologize. Number 35, Route 280. What else is there to say? It's boring, it's slow, and you're wondering, why is Rouge in a car? And that's why this level sucks. It makes no sense. Moving on. Number 34, Route 101. Pretty much what I just said, but easier. That's it. I know, short, but there's barely anything you can't say. Number 33, Mad Space. Now we're getting to the proper levels. This one is ungodly awful. It's too big. The hints it gives you are outright garbage. I mean, are you trying to make us decipher the hints? What is that? I know you want to make it hard, but there's such a way of making fun difficulty and awful difficulty. This is just awful. And the cinematography is what stops it from ranking lower than the two go-karting levels. Screw those. But it's still a bad level. It's just horribly done, and a pretty much a bad end to Rouge's story in this game. A terrible level overall. Number 32, Cannon's Core, Knuckles' version. Yeah, if you just watched my last story segment, I put it at the bottom as my least favorite part in Cannon's Core. And here you can see why. It's slow. It's highly impossible without the air necklace. And most of it is just aggravating. I mean, you have to be extremely careful to avoid the lasers, press the time stop button, and if you're not there to press the next one, the current's gonna push you back and you have to start again. Isn't that just wonderful? No, it's not. It's awful. But at least it's short, hence why it ranks higher than Mad Space. But it's still a terrible level. Sorry, Knuckles. Number 31, Prison Lane. Yeah, it's a pretty terrible start to Tails' story in this game. It's slow, too much platforming, and this is the last time I'll be saying this, the mechs aren't supposed to be used for platforming. And too much enemy placement. This is honestly awful. Just awful. I mean, why? Just why? It's a terrible start to Tails' story, and I feel bad for picking on this kid. Just give us better levels next time. Number 30, Eternal Engine. Yeah, we go from Tails' terrible first level to Tails' another terrible last level. And you might be wondering, if it's so bad, why is it ranking higher than Prison Lane? The ending. Pretty much all the hell you've been through, and what do you get for the ending? A pretty good ending, actually. Pretty much all you do is shoot off the buttons to try and get to the goal. That was honestly the best part of the level. And now to get the stuff I do hate. Annoying enemy placement. I'm looking at you, Chaos. Wrong button. setting off explosives that could send you to your doom and pretty much out of the airlock. Wow. And too much platforming. Honestly, Eternal Legend's just a terrible level, except the ending. But it's just a horrible end to Tales to story in this game. And yes, I said that about Mad Space, but that one is too long and annoying. This one is just bad. Number 29, Mission Street. Well, I seem to be picking on Tails a lot. I humbly apologize, but another annoying level to play. But at least it's shorter than Eternal Legend and Prison Line. Still too much platforming. I mean, jumping with the mech is just godly annoying. Too much enemy placement, particularly with the planes shooting down missiles at you. And even though you get the hover ability, it pretty much doesn't help that much. But there is one thing I generally do like. That sign you just saw. Honestly, that's a nice cute little detail that actually got a laugh out of me as I was playing. They got a Wanted Tales poster, even though they just met this kid and they already put out Wanted posters. Honestly, that little detail is so funny that it would be a great detail if they put this in Sonic 3. Like, they put Wanted posters of Tails or something. I don't know, I'm just speculating here. But overall, Mission Street is just annoying. Particularly at the ending. I think you know what I'm talking about. Number 28, Pyramid Cave. Not the worst of the speed levels, but the worst of Sonic's levels. It's the hourglass stuff. It can be fine if you want to increase speed or try and get the fast time, but when you're trying to avoid stuff, particularly in that middle part where you hit the hourglass and you're going through this long tunnel trying to get to the other side, it can be painfully aggravating because the ghost won't leave you alone. I mean, the ghosts are a bunch of such a nuisance. Honestly, they stop you right in their tracks and just won't leave you alone. Even when you're trying to get out of the damn cave. The music's fine. I mean, it's passable enough, but overall, it's just a terrible speed level that just stops. And that's pretty much all I've got to say about it. Number 27, Death Chamber. Yeah, it's a pretty forgettable level for Knuckles, and honestly his second worst. It's very confusing going through each room trying to find the shards. The enemy's not overall bad, it's just sometimes they can pop up unexpectedly, and it's just a slog to get through at times. There's not much to say about Death Chamber, it's just pretty forgettable and boring. Number 26, Sand Ocean. Okay, I do generally like the atmosphere here. The music really sells how playing the level at night feels. That's honestly the best thing about this level. The rest of it is more platforming, waiting around during platforming, enemies that spawn the hell out of nowhere, and just slow walking on the mech. Honestly, it's just a real slog to get through. I know it drives the story and it's actually one of the few fine levels that do contribute, but it's just an overall boring, long slog to get through. Number 25, Pumpkin Hill. Okay, I've said this before, and I'll say it again for the one more time. Pumpkin Hill is not all bad, it's just confusing. And not in a fun way. I mean, having to go through three separate places in this level, the the titular Pumpkin Hill, the church, and the ghost train can be a bit of a slog at times. But the music is amazing. Honestly, the Pumpkin Hill music is beautiful. It sets the ambient tone. It's gorgeously shot. And it's just a kick-ass it's just a really cool it's a really cool theme. Honestly, I give Pumpkin Hill a listen. It's really good. But that's pretty much what I can say about Pumpkin Hill. It's passable enough, it's just confusing at times. Number 24, Cannon's Core, Eggman's version. Yeah, for beginners, this is a big trap if you don't know what you're doing. I mean, having to press the timer to wait for platforms to stop moving, then you jump, but you have to know and be dead precise. I mean, not exactly dead precise, but sometimes having to wait can be a bit annoying. I mean, it's not bad, it's just slow at times. I mean, it's alright. I mean, the end bit's okay, but overall, it's just a real slog to get through. But at least it's short. Which is why I ranked it higher than Pumpkin Hill. Number 23, Weapons Bed. It may be short, but it feels very unsatisfying. I mean, it's pretty much avoid enemies, get to where Sonic's Sonic's team is. That's pretty much it. But if you're if you like to hit multiple combos, or this level is right up your alley. Although there is a better version of this later on the list, but it feels very unsatisfying, and you forget sometimes you even played it. It's so short, and yeah, and you hover over everything, so it makes the level even more easy. Yeah, Weapons Bed is very unsatisfying. Enough said. Number 22, Meteor Herd. Okay, so here we go from the bad levels to pretty underwhelming levels to competently made. Now, it does have some good. I generally do like the atmosphere here. The cinematography is gorgeous. Any levels in this game that have to do with space is gorgeously done. I'll give it that. And thankfully it's not mad space. God. But some bits can be a bit of a slog to get to, particularly when you have to climb up the tower to try and get to the highest point. And sometimes the containers can obscure when I'm trying to find the damn emerald shard. Yeah, I forgot to mention that when I was covering Mad Space, but still the same problem here. So yeah, it's a competently made done level. That's all I can say about it. Number 21, Cannon's Core, Tails' version. Now, it's a good start. I mean, it pretty much tells you everything you need going forward when playing Cannon's Core. It can be a bit slow at times, but it's fine enough. I mean, shooting off stuff is kind of cool, racking up those points. The end part is pretty spectacular, particularly if you hit it just at the right time, you can platform up in like 5 seconds, I think. But overall, it's not the worst part of Cannon's Core. Go watch the other ones. But overall, it's fine enough. It's in the middle of good enough segment in Cannon's Core. And it's good enough for me. Number 20, Lost Colony. Yeah, I forget sometimes this level exists. But that doesn't necessarily mean it can be a bad thing. I like the atmosphere and the music. It's surprisingly good. And I do like you can just blow up stuff with the jetpack ability. Yeah, I seem to be mixing the jetpack and the hover abilities sometimes. Apologies if I've made those mistakes in my Eggman and mech level videos. Overall, I like the ambience here. It's a pretty well enough level, and it's not too long or too short to be unsatisfying or insulting. It's a it's a well done enough level, and I do like the I do like you can stack up a pretty good combo if you just hold down the button long enough. Number 19, Cannon's Core, Rouge's version. It's pretty short and straight to the point. I mean, all you have to do is climb up the poles. Sorry, I didn't mean the hills. The poles to press a button, go through, press another button, go back out the way you came. That's pretty short and straight to the point. Yeah, the last bit can be a bit aggravating, particularly when you're trying to go back, but it's not too aggravating enough to warrant it ranking lower. But being short is what's stopping it from ranking higher, too. So, overall, it's fine enough, but that's pretty much Cannon's Core for you. It's fine enough. Number 18, Egg Quarters. It's better than Death Chamber. I know. I like Egg Quarters a little more. Mostly because, mostly it's not too confusing, and it's not too confusing. I like the level structure, and it does tie into the story. She's breaking into the base, and she needs the keys. Quick and straight to the point. And yeah, the robot guard actually adds to the intensity. Can she avoid this guy to try and get the keys, or will she get hit multiple times? Yeah, that can be annoying for some people, but I think it levels up the intensity enough. It's a pretty good level. Number 17, Final Chase. Well, it's about time we talked about Shadow here. And honestly, it's not good, but it's not all bad. It's the spinning pillars is what's stopping it from ranking high on this list, and not enough to make me like it more. It's the pillars. Sometimes they can help, sometimes they work against you. Particularly when you're trying to jump off them. They just pull you back in again. That's the only nitpick I had with this level. Everything else is pretty good. Great level of speed. Pretty decent platforming, and the music's pretty snazzy. It's a good enough level, but a lot of people would consider this the worst Shadow level. That's it. And yes, there are 3 more levels of Shadow to talk about. Number 16, Aquatic Mine. I kinda like the difficulty in this one. It's not overall bad. I mean, once you get the air necklace, you can just pretty much go underwater for as long as you please. It honestly feels satisfying once you get the air necklace. And I do like the level build. As you press each button, the water will either rise up or go down. It's a good enough level, and the water physics are not annoying. Yeah, it seems like Knuckles gets the best of it while Sonic gets the worst. But overall, Aquatic Mine is good enough. Once you get the air necklace, it's not all bad. Number 15, Cosmic Wall. The better version of Weapons Bed. That's pretty much it. Pretty much better in every way. Cinematography, getting points while moving very fast on a cart. That was pretty awesome. Yeah, you get to do that segment twice. And the hovering ability is pretty damn good. I mean, the gravity here actually makes hovering fun. pretty much you could just move up, move as long as you want, get more points. And honestly, it just feels gorgeously done. Honestly, Cosmic Wall is a pretty great level. And I'm glad it's ranked this high, but the other 14 levels have just more oomph put into them. Cosmic Wall is perfect at the number 15 spot. Beautiful. Number 14, Dry Lagoon. Sorry about the barking. Honestly, Dry Lagoon is a pretty great level to start Rouge's story. It's short, quick, straight to the point, and I like the switching up. Up above, you can hit the guards that are hurting the turtle, and as thanks, the turtle helps you get down to the bottom section of the level. And if you get an ice shard detected underwater, the turtle can actually take you to where the ice shard is. If you are clever enough to grab onto the turtle while that's happening, it's pretty good. Honestly, Dry Lagoon is just a great start to Rouge's level. Too bad Matt's base pretty much screwed her over. Sorry. Honestly, Dry Lagoon is good enough. Number 13, Cannon's Core, Sonic's version. Yeah, it's obvious this is my favorite Cannon's Core segment. It's fast, speed, great agility, great platforming, and sliding down the slide, if you know what you're doing, is pretty fun. Honestly, I can see why they saved the best for last. It's just a great segment. And it's just a top-notch segment for Sonic. And it does lead to a pretty awesome, a decent boss battle for Shadow. But we're not talking about bosses here. That will be the next video. Number 12, Iron Gate. Yeah, this is the best one for This is Eggman's best level, and honestly, it's not hard to see why. It's just a kick-ass level. Able to shoot stuff, pretty decent platforming, and a great start to Eggman's story in this game. Pretty much, it's just a great stuff for Team Dark, period. Honestly, it's just awesome shooting up stuff, kicking ass. And especially at the end where you press the button and the missile just blows through the gun, the gun doors as you try to reach the goal. Honestly, it's just a great level for Eggman, and I consider it his best level. Yes, his best level. Because sadly, this is the end for Eggman on this list. Sorry, buddy. Number 11, Green Forest. I like the speed here. It's great and intense. I love how it contributes to the story. And the timer actually is not too hard on you, but it is pretty good enough. As you speed around the course, grabbing vines, hitting enemies, and just spinning around the place. But what's stopping you from making it to the top 10 is the ending. If you don't know what you're doing, you're screwed. But if you do know what you're doing, and you reach the springs, it's fine enough, but it can be frustrating for some people. But it's a great level still. It's a great level, and it's honestly, the speed is fantastic. And here we are, the top 10. Here we go from great to decent to awesome. And what starts at number 10? Hidden Base. Honestly, the best Tails is ever gonna get. It's nicely paced. The hovering actually makes it fun to play. And blowing up monkeys is honestly the funniest stuff to do in this level. Oh, and the different pathways you can take. I mean, no matter which one you do, it'll lead you straight to the correct path. That's honestly pretty fun. Honestly, and not too much platforming, thank God. There is a bit, but not too much that gets repetitive. I consider this the best of Tails' levels ever. And yes, best Tails level. Because sadly, this is the end for Tails here. Sorry. Hmm. Number 9, Security Hole. As much as I hated Rouge for doing this, seriously, Eggman said 15 minutes, not 5. But I do like the intensity of you racing against the clock, and it's not overly painful, as much people would think. I like the intensity, and the level structure is pretty good. Oh, not good. It's pretty great. I mean, like Aquatic Mine, but done better. You get to press each buttons to figure out which the emeralds are in, which was annoying at first, but once I got the pattern down, it's pretty great. I consider this the best of Rouge's levels. Period. And I said the best Rouge level, because sadly, this is the end for Rouge. It's pretty surprising she made it this far, considering she had the worst level in the game. Number 8, Skyrail. My only problem, it's too short. But the rest of it is top notch. The cinematography is absolutely decent. The rails are actually fun to ride, particularly when you have to actually crouch down to actually move in with the rail. And when you jump off the correct time, you can actually get extra points. It depends how. It just depends how at the correct timing. And honestly, the platforming here is great, particularly depending how far you jump from the rails. I mean, you could take the upper route or the lower route. Honestly, Skyrail is a pretty decent level. It's just too short for my liking. Number 7, Wild Canyon. Honestly, what else can you say about this Knuckles' best level? Its contribution to the story is fantastic. The music is amazing. The level structure is great. Honestly, you just pick from 3 separate paths. The bottom route, the left route, or the right route once you get up. Honestly, it's just a great level for Knuckles. Honestly, the way this is structured is why I consider Wild Canyon Knuckles' best level. And considering this is the start of his story, it's a pretty awesome one to begin. Said best Knuckles level, because sadly, this is where it ends for Knuckles. Sorry. And now, we got 2 of the hedgehogs left from this game. Which one is going to take the number 1 spot? The blue blueberry Sonic himself, or the dark badass with the guns, Shadow? Let's take a look. Number 6, Final Rush. The better version of Final Chase. Great sense of speed, fun rail platforming, fun enemies to kill, taking multiple pathways, and an awesome music to start with. Honestly, Final Rush overall is just fantastic. Particularly at the ending where you have to run from literal rubbish. Yeah. Honestly, it's a decent level. But the 5 other levels on this list are even better. Number 5, Crazy Gadget. A lot of people will hate me for putting it this high, but I like the difficulty here. It's actually quite fun once you get the pattern down, and the platforming is fantastic. I mean, even when you get the flame ring ability here, which I forgot to mention in the Sonic and Speed level videos, my apologies for that, it doesn't feel like it overstays its welcome. The final part of the level is honestly my favorite part. The upside down rooms, pressing the levers to hold the gravity. Honestly, it's just a great end of Sonic's levels here. Honestly, it's just perfect. But there are 4 other levels that could top it even better. Number 4, City Escape. Honestly, Sonic gets it the best in this game. I mean, most of these levels are in the top 10. Hell, most of them are in the top 5. And City Escape at number 4, pretty much no exception here. It's got an iconic music to start with, and it's just amazing. The board riding is great, the rail grinding is great, the platforming is amazing, and the gun escape sequence. What else is there to say? It's a perfect ass level, because no wonder it was featured in Sonic Generations. Yes, I said both the original version and the remastered. No, sadly it doesn't appear in Sonic Generations 3DS. I don't think. Actually, no, it doesn't. But honestly, City Escape itself is amazing. It's just, honestly, my second favorite Sonic level in the game. And sadly, there's only one more Sonic level in the top 3. Will it make the number 1? We'll have to see. Number 3, White Jungle. Oh my god, that music, man. Honestly, this music slaps. Honestly, it's a pretty awesome start to this level as you speed through pretty much the better version of Green Forest. I know. Great sense of speed, rail, vine holding, levers you have to pull, killing enemies. Now, yes, the low speed dash ability can actually be annoying at times, but if you perfect it just correctly, it's actually quite fun to pull off. Honestly, White Jungle is just a fantastic level. It's not too short, it's not too long, it's just immensely awesome. But there are 2 other levels that just beat it out in the more awesome. Number 2, Metal Harbor. Yeah, it's no surprise Metal Harbor is this high on the list. And some are surprised it's not number 1. Honestly, Metal Harbor itself is just a fantastic level. The great amounts of speed, different pathways you can take, particularly now you've got the Lightspeed Dash ability, jumping around killing enemies. Honestly, the Lightspeed Dash ability in this level is used to perfection. My favorite part of this level is the ending, where you can take different pathways, jumping on the springs, running up the path, Lightspeed dashers, even killing enemies can get you pretty high up there. If you know what you're doing, which it builds up the intensity just a lot, particularly when you climb up the rocket and go down. Honestly, Metal Harbor is just a fantastic level, but sadly is not number 1. And can you guess what it is? Have you been, counting along? Shall we, get to it? And yes, this means, sadly, Sonic is out of the rankings. Sorry, buddy. Well, can we guess what this is? Yeah, there's no problem. Number 1 is Radical Highway. I mean, how can it not be? It's Radical freaking Highway! It's an awesome start to Shadow's gameplay in this game. It kicks ass, the music is iconic. No wonder it was featured in Sonic Generations 3DS, which makes no sense, and also in the remastered version of Shadow's campaign. And honestly, why not? It's awesome. The platform is fantastic. The speed is incredible. And honestly, the amount of speed here is beautiful. Radical Highway as a level is perfect and I consider it the number one. Not only the best shadow level, but the best level in the game ever. I don't think any other level is going to top it. So that's my long-ass ranking of the Sonic Adventure 2 levels from worst to best. That's pretty much all I've got. At the end of the day, I'll be ranking the Sonic Adventure 2 bosses from worst to best. Until then, I'm the Shadow Reviewer, signing off.